Hi everyone, welcome to this video. So in this video guys, we'll be starting with solving one of the questions that has been asked in the Google for the software development role. Now, this question, first of all, I'll let you know that how you can start and what process you have to follow while solving out these questions. So starting with this is one of the questions from the DSA topic. Okay. Now, apart from that, first of all, we'll be reading out the complete question. Okay, then I'll be explaining you that how to approach this question, what can be the solution, right? Hopefully everyone knows there are two kinds of approaches. One is a naive approach and second the expected approaches. Fine, I'll be helping you out with the naive approach, that is a easier method to solve out this complete question, right? Apart from that, we'll be discussing about the complexities also, right? So let's get started up here very quickly. So my question says that we are given an array, okay, and the task is that I have to find all the possible indices I, j, k of the triplet array of I, array of j, and array of k, okay, such that their sum is equal to zero. So I do have to find all the possible indices of I, j, k where the sum will be equal to zero. Okay, and all the indices in a triplet should be distinct. Okay, which means that you cannot take similar values in I, j, and k. The indices of these values should not be same. Okay, which means that if you take I, j, and k, so might be I could be of index 0, j could be of index 2, and k could be of index 3, right? But they all the three cannot be of a index 1, 1, 1 like that. Cool. We need to return the indices of a triplet sorted order, that is I is less than j and j is less than k. Fine, that's okay, right? So we always need to follow this particular sorted manner, that the indices of I should be less than j and for j it should be less than the k. Cool. So what I'll do, first of all, I'll just start with that what we do have. We do have one thing, that is array of I. Second, we are having array of J, and third we do have array of K. Three we are having. Now with these indices means I, J and K, we have to do the sum I plus J plus K, and that should result me the sum as 0, right? So we do not have to take directly the values, but yeah, really we have to work on to the indices. Now what conditions do I have? The condition which I have is I should be less than j and j should be less than k. This is one of the conditions which I am having. So means the smallest value should be of the I and the greatest value should be of the k. One condition. Second condition, that I should not be equal to j and the value for j should not be equal to k value as an index value. I'll just even write that also. Value means index value should not be equal to each other. Cool, we do have these two criterias. Now, if I talk about the examples, we do have an input area of 0, minus 1, 2, minus 3, and 1. Okay. Now we have to get in the output of this. Let's do a thing. I'll just copy this over here and I'll just explain you what's this all about. Yes, and goes here. Pretty cool. And we might increase the size of this a bit. Fine. Okay, now this is what is the required thing that we do have over here. So the thing over here goes in such a manner that I do have this input of 0, minus 1, 2, minus 3, and 1. So what I'll just do, I'll just take a new color and we'll start writing also so that we get a clearer idea. Fine. So my array is, we do have 0, then we have minus 1, we have 2, we have minus 3, and we have 1. These five values we are having. Now if I write the index of these values, so index would be 0, index would be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the index. Correct? Fine. Now I have to find the triplets whose final sum will be equal to 0. Right? I have to find those triplets for 1. The final sum should be equal to 0. The conditions is applied that I should be less than j and j should be less than k. Okay? Means we can take the arrays in the ascending order only, which means that I can take the index values of the array as like 0, 1, 2 or 0, 1, 3 or 2, 3, 4. I cannot take it in the manner of 4, 2, 1 or 4, 3, 0 something. No, that's not allowed. Right? So it should be again in the ascending order only. Cool. Now, if you see, so what you could do is that we can just take one of these values 0, put a plus, right? I can, okay, I'll just not write it like this, I'll write it in another manner. We can just take array of 0, which is having the value as 0, plus I can take array of 1, plus I can take array of 4. Now array of 0 is having a value of 0, array of 1 is having the value of -1, and array of 4 is having the value of 4. So I'll just write it plus 1. Now, if -1 plus 1 is 0 and 0 plus 0 is 0. So obviously, I finally got the answer here as 0. And that is what this explanation is also telling you. That if you take the array of 0 or if you take array of 1 and array of 4, so you would just get the final result as 0. So you have to think, how can you get the result as 0? Right? Now if you see something, if you just can take this ahead and follow this rule, so you are seeing these values 2, -3 and 1, right? So what if you do 2 minus 3, that is -1, and -1 plus 1 results to 0. So another thing which I can get from here, the another solution can be array of 2 plus array of 3 plus array of 1, right? So in my array of 2 I have the value as 2, array of 3 is -3, and array of 4, I'm sorry, here I need to write here 4, right? Yeah, so array of 4 is plus 1. So 2 minus 3 is -1, -1 plus 1 is again 0. Now can you see something else which could be made from this? No, I don't think so, because my condition is that I only and only have to go in the ascending order. I do not have to follow my descending order, right? So none of the other scenarios could be just simply used while you are making this particular solution. So the expected result for these two will be this area of 0 plus area of 1 plus area of 4, and second will be area of 2 plus area of 3 plus area of 4. That is the first thing, right? Now similarly you have to check it for the second one, 1 minus 2 105, right? Similarly 2 3 105. So see, now in 2 3 105 you do not have any negative values, right? Rather if you do 1 plus 0, that also will give you the answer as 1 only. So here you can just simply say that no triplet could be made with the sum 0. Output can be empty over here. So this is what the complete question is all about. Fine. Now what can be the approach for this question? Right? What can be the, oh my god, if I just write like this. Just a minute, yeah. Now let's check the approach for this question. Now, see, guys, the approach could be pretty simple, right? That first of all, what you could just do is that you can just make a function. So, I'll just write def something as a function you can define over here. Right. Once you're done with the functions, you can make the respective variables. Let's say you just make an empty list. Let's say res, and just make it empty as of now, right? Next thing which you can do is you can just check the length of this respective empty list or array, whatever you just have made out. Now, for generating the triplets, what you could do, you can go with the loops. You can apply three loops over here. One could be for I, analytic one could be for J, and third one could be for K. I, J, and K. Three loops can be one can be just applied so that you can just go and check for each and every loop for the whole sentence. Okay. Now, next condition which could be applied is that if the sum of the triplets is equal to 0, then you'll be adding the index to the result, because that is what we require. We do not require the values, right? We will be requiring the index values only. So my condition would be, if my condition would go, if sum is equal to 0, I would just take the arrays. So it would go in a manner that array of I plus array of j plus array of k is equal to 0. So in that respective case, I would just append variable. You will be defining that res variable only, res dot append, and I would just append over here like, one second, I need to make this clear. Yeah, I'll just put the bracket I comma j comma k and bracket close, right? So you can just append all these three values over here. After, once you are done with everything, return the empty list. That was my res variable. Fine. And then simply just simply define your array and call your function, and that is done, right? So that is how, what could be the approach for this question, to go ahead and work with the solution for the same. Okay, now what I'll just do with this particular part, we'll just move on back to the PyCharm IDE. Okay, and there I'll be just helping to write the solution for this whole code. So yeah, here is my PyCharm IDE, and just let me open the something where. Okay. Um, Fine. So what I'll just do, I'll just try to make a new file over here, new, and then Python file. Let's say Q1. Cool. Right. So now into this, we can just simply go with this question for this. Okay, fine. Simply quickly go ahead and write the solution. Of, I'll just do one thing. Let me just not to go here. I'll just use a Google Colab rather. Google Colab. I'm not sure if you know about Google Colab or not, but this is one of the amazing IDEs which we have over here, into which you can just practice as many questions you want, and you can just go ahead and simply save those onto your drive and just use this anywhere in any of the systems or like that. Okay, so I'll just write here company prep, like that. Okay, cool. Let's get started. So guys, this kind of a question has been already asked in Google for one of the interviews in the DSA for one of the coding questions. So do make sure that these kind of questions are also asked out. Okay, it's not that they every time give you the questions for the very difficult kind of a questions. These are also a type of which can be asked out, right? Cool. Let's get started. So I'll just make a function dev find trip. Okay, and I'll just pass an arr as an array over here, right? Moving next, I'll just make an empty array which I was telling you previously, and I would just simply go ahead and first of all find the length. So n is a variable into which I'll be storing the length of my array, and a would be small for this array. Now, next part, as I already mentioned, we'll be simply generating the all the triplets. Fine. So I'll go with for I in range, right? And my range will go from n minus 2. Means whatever is the length of my array, 2 less than that it will go. Next is what? Next is that for j in range, what I'll just do is I'll just do I plus 1 comma n minus 1. So it will go till one value more than I and one value less than the length of the array. Fine, again putting the colon. This time it's gonna be for j in range, and this will go till j plus 1 and up till my length, right? Because we do have only one array into which we have been defining a lot of a lot of values. That is why we are just going n minus 2, n minus 1 and n, right? Let's say arrays of array 0, array 1, array 2. So 0 will be I, 1 will be j, and 2 will be k, like that. Fine. Now I'll be just finding that if the sum of the triplets is equal to 0, so in that respective case I'll be adding the index to the result. Fine. So I'll just try that if arr of I plus arr of j, okay, for array of I plus array of j plus array of k, if these three values are getting the result as 0, so now I'll just, okay, sorry, is equal to 0. If that is equal to 0, so in that case I'll just write res dot append, and in the bracket I'll just do with the I comma j comma k. Cool, so that is how you just move ahead. Coming out of your loops, you would just simply return the value for the rest over here. Now I'll be defining my array as we had already passed this ARR argument in the function. So let's take the input array only. So it's 0 minus 1, 2 minus 3, 1, 0. Okay. 0 comma minus 1 comma 2, 1 second, minus 1 comma 2 comma it was minus 3 comma 1. Yeah, this was the array, right? So now in my rest variable, I'll be calling my function. So find trip, and in the bracket arr, right? Array. Now I'll be applying one more condition, that for triplet in rest, I would just simply print all the three values. So it would be um print triplet, okay, t triplet of 0 comma triplet of 1 comma triplet of 2, right? That is how I'll just print all the three triplets over here, 1, 0, 1 and 2. So this was the solution which we had in for this complete question. Okay, now let's do a quick check. Let's try running this program and let's see if we get the result. So I just got the values for the indexes 0, 1, 4, 2, 3, 4 was the respective one. Let's check it. So 0, 1, 4, 2, 3, 4, 0. Absolutely right. Correct. So this is how you would be approaching and solving this complete question. I'm again repeating, this question has already been asked in one of the DSC interviews of Google. So make sure, guys, this wasn't a tough question. Trust me, this was really not a tough question. But again, what was the thing was just taking that 5 minutes or 2 minutes in the starting and reading the complete question. If that question has been completely understood and read, so I won't think so that we will be having any issues while solving out this question. Fine, let's give one more input, 23105. So I'll just write it over here, 2 comma 3 comma 1 comma 0 comma 5. And now let's run this again. 23105. Yes, now we do not have anything. Why? The reason is because we do not have any output over here. And that was the reason, because this doesn't satisfies any of these criteria. Similarly, if I give the second one 1 minus 2, let me just copy this one only, and let's paste it over here. Let's run this program. Now see, we do have an output 0, 1 and 2. So this is how you can just quickly go ahead and implement the solutions for all these type of questions. So hopefully you might have enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions, do let me know in the chat niche comment box. And moreover, there is one expected approach also of this question, which is I would say a little bit more trickier approach. So if you just get to solve out this question in any other method, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be really happy to see your solution also. This is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.